Good afternoon from beautiful downtown Crestline in the San Bernardino Mountains of Southern California on this Wednesday, February 19th, in the year of our Lord 2014. On my most recent installment of my weekly radio show, Ancient of Days, on freedomizerradio.com and archived on Blog Talk, we took a look at Atlantis and the possibility that Atlantis, the continent, not the city by the way, was in South America. You see, people misunderstand what Plato told us. He said that the island sank into the sea and was never seen again. But the city on the island is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the continent of Atlantis. And the medieval map makers used to label South America Atlantis. And no less than Francis Bacon, whom very well might have written the works attributed to William Shakespeare, and who established the modern scientific method. Francis Bacon, in a work titled The New Atlantis, published in 1627, 1 year after his death, stated unequivocally that South America was Atlantis. Specifically, he named Peru, which is not the same as the modern country of Peru. The borders were much larger and included Bolivia. Well, now, there's a British author named Jim Allen, and his website is Atlantis Bolivia, all one word, no spaces, .org. And I will put that link in the description of this video. He believes that the Altiplano of Bolivia is the plain, the fertile plain that fed Atlantis. Could be. I can't swear to it, but it could be. Seems reasonable. In any case, the kings of Atlantis were children of the god Poseidon, also known as Neptune, and a human woman. You see, originally, the island of Atlantis had a human king and queen, and they had a beautiful daughter. Well, Poseidon fell in love with this daughter and married her, and she does not seem to have had much of a choice in the matter. You rarely do have a choice when Nephilim come down. Those are fallen angels, kids. You know, folks, Genesis chapter 6, and there were Nephilim in the earth in those days and also after. What days? The days of Noah, before and after the flood. And you know what else? This poor woman had at least 10 children, 5 sets of twin boys. And in keeping with the culture of the time, Plato did not mention any daughters. Well, the kingdom was divided among these 10 boys, these sets of twins, by Poseidon. And of course, they roamed all over the continent of Atlantis. And by the way, the native peoples of South America called their land the land of the giants. And it's one of those places in the world with huge stone monuments and gigantic statues and myths and legends of the war against the giants. Eventually, the people drove the giants all the way down to Tierra del Fuego, the land of fire, at the southern tip of South America, a volcanic area, and they think they killed them all. Many of these giants were not your Jack and the Beanstalk size, like 30 feet tall. Some were 7 to 8 feet tall, or 10 to 15, but they were all funny-looking people. In fact, even today they're still finding what they call cone heads, these weird skulls that are much larger than a human skull and very, very strange looking. And recent DNA analysis has told us that they are not human. They're hominid or hominoid, human-like, but not human. Yes, some of the skulls are the result of cradle boarding or head binding in order to deform an infant's skull and make it look like a cone head. But that practice is the result of people trying to recreate something that they saw in these non-human rulers who were not only taking everything they wanted, but also eating people. As the giant of Jack and the Beanstalk used to say, "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread." That is not just a children's story. And if you want to hear more, please look below for the link to my archived program. The whole archive runs 3 hours, but only the first hour is my talk about Atlantis and South America. And I'll see you next Monday for Ancient of Days on freedomizerradio.com, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, Ancient of Days on freedomizerradio.com. Thank you.